Most people waste their best years avoiding risk, following generic advice, and hoping that saving alone will make them rich. But the truth is, wealth is built through behavior, habits that most people ignore until it's too late. I didn't grow up rich. I didn't have connections. But I did learn what works and what doesn't by doing the hard things early. I've built multiple income streams, made mistakes that nearly cost everything, and discovered what it really takes to grow your net worth from zero. In this video, I'll break down the 7 money habits that helped me build real, lasting wealth, and expose 3 hidden habits that almost destroyed it all. Let's get started. Habit number 1. Use debt wisely like a rich. Debt. Just the word alone makes most people uncomfortable. We've been taught to fear it, avoid it, and treat it like a financial disease. But what if that mindset is the very thing holding people back from building real wealth? The truth is, wealthy people don't avoid debt, they master it. Let's start by breaking a myth. Debt isn't good or bad, it's neutral. It's simply a tool, and like any tool, it can build your future or wreck it, depending on how you use it. Think of it like fire. In the hands of someone careless, it burns down a house. But in the hands of a skilled cook, it creates warmth and nourishment. That's exactly how the wealthy treat debt. They don't borrow to buy liabilities. They borrow to control assets. Let's illustrate this with a story. Imagine 2 friends, Anna and Liam. Anna gets a $20,000 personal loan and buys a brand new car. It's flashy, it's fun, but 6 months later, it's worth $16,000. And it's costing her $400 a month in repayments. That's a liability. Liam, on the other hand, uses that same $20,000 to buy 5 vending machines. He places them in local gyms and offices. After stocking and maintaining them, they generate $2,000 in monthly profit. That's an asset. The debt created income. Anna's debt drained her. This is the core difference. Wealthy people use debt to buy income-producing assets. They don't spend borrowed money on things that lose value the second they're bought. Another critical concept is arbitrage, when you borrow money at a low cost and invest it for a higher return. For example, if you can get a business loan at 4% interest and use it to fund a project that returns 10%, you're not just borrowing, you're earning. That 6% difference is your profit. And this isn't theoretical. That's exactly how real estate investors, business owners, and even governments operate. But using debt wisely means more than chasing returns. It means protecting yourself from risk. Before taking on any debt, ask 3 questions. Will this generate income or increase in value? Can I make the payments even if things go wrong? What's my exit strategy if the investment fails? Wealthy people run the numbers. They never gamble. If the math doesn't work, they walk away. This is why banks love lending to the rich. They know how to use debt to grow, not just survive. Here's another example. A small business owner wants to acquire a competitor who's retiring. The business makes $100,000 a year. The purchase price is $300,000. She gets a loan to buy it. Within 3 years, the loan is paid off, and now she owns a cash-flowing machine. This move isn't possible without debt, but it's smart, calculated, and built on income, not ego. So the next time you hear someone say all debt is bad, remember they're likely thinking like a consumer, not an investor. Debt is a double-edged sword. But when handled correctly, it's one of the fastest paths to financial freedom. Habit number 2, obsession is a superpower. If you study the world's most successful people, one trait rises above all others. It's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not even luck, it's obsession. Obsession is the engine behind every extraordinary success story. It's what drives someone to work when others rest. It's what fuels learning when most will quit. And it's what keeps the vision alive long after the applause has faded. Let's redefine obsession. This isn't about working 100-hour weeks until burnout. It's about aligning your focus so intensely that everything you do feeds the same fire. Picture an Olympic athlete. Their entire lifestyle supports one outcome: winning gold. Their meals, their sleep, their routines, it's all shaped by the goal. That's not just discipline, that's obsession with a purpose. Now apply that to your financial life. If your goal is financial freedom, then obsession means cutting out distractions that don't move you closer. It means studying your craft when others are scrolling. It means tracking your numbers like an investor, not a gambler. Here's an example. A young coder named Priya was obsessed with creating mobile games. She built 12 apps that nobody downloaded. But she didn't quit. She studied every failure. She rewrote the code. She read marketing books on weekends. App number 13 exploded. Over 1 million downloads. She went from side hustle to software millionaire in less than 3 years. Her secret? Obsession, not motivation. She didn't need pep talks. Her vision pulled her forward. Obsession can be developed. Start with clarity. What is your ultimate financial goal? Write it down. Now, reverse engineer the skills, habits, and routines required to get there. Break it down into a system. Use a method called the Power Hour. It's one focused hour each day on a high-leverage task. Learning a new skill, building a product, writing, coding, selling. Do this 365 times a year, and you'll outpace most people still waiting to feel ready. Success doesn't require massive moves. It demands consistent effort, aligned with obsession. Even the top billionaires show this trait. Elon Musk works 80 to 100 hours a week. Why? Because he's obsessed with pushing humanity forward. He doesn't see it as work, it's just what he does. This level of intensity turns impossible goals into outcomes. But here's the real magic. Obsession isn't just about working harder. It's about filtering out what doesn't matter. When you're obsessed with financial independence, you naturally say no to toxic friends, low-return activities, and distractions. Every yes becomes a calculated decision, and obsession creates momentum. You don't get one big break. You create hundreds of small wins that compound. Eventually, the world calls it success, but it started with obsession, quiet, focused, unshakable. Habit number 3, build income while you sleep. The true test of wealth isn't how much money you make while working, it's how much you earn while doing nothing at all. That's the power of income that doesn't depend on your time. The wealthy call it passive income, and while the term gets tossed around carelessly online, its principle is simple and powerful. Build something once, get paid for it over and over again. Now let's be clear, no income is truly passive. Everything takes effort up front, but the right kind of effort builds systems that continue working long after you stop. Passive income is leverage. It turns hours into assets. Here's how this plays out in real life. Take Daniel, a freelance graphic designer. At first, he traded time for dollars, designing logos, posters, and web layouts. But over time, he noticed patterns in his work. He packaged his most used templates into a digital design bundle and started selling it online. It took him 40 hours to create, but once it was live, he earned over $1,000 a month in sales for work he did once. That's the shift, from labor to leverage. There are many paths to passive income, but they all share a key trait: build now, earn later. Here are a few examples. Write and sell digital products like ebooks, courses, or templates. Invest in dividend-paying stocks that reward you just for holding them. Rent out property for recurring income and appreciation. License content, music, or intellectual property for royalties. Each one requires front-end effort, but over time, the income becomes detached from your hours. The mistake many make is chasing too many streams at once. Focus on building one solid stream before branching out. A weak river doesn't feed the valley. Start where you are. If you have skills, turn them into products. If you have capital, put it into income-producing assets. If you have time, use it to build systems, not just complete tasks. Passive income isn't about laziness. It's about freedom. It's what lets you take a day off without losing ground. It's what allows you to help family, travel, or build your dream project, because your income doesn't vanish when you unplug. But perhaps the greatest gift of passive income is this: peace of mind. Knowing that even while you sleep, your money is awake, working harder than you ever could. Habit number 4, quit strategically. In a world that glorifies persistence, quitting is often misunderstood. But here's the truth: strategic quitting isn't failure, it's focus. Success is not just about knowing what to start, it's about knowing what to leave behind. Winners quit all the time. They just quit the wrong things at the right time. Think about this. Every commitment you make carries an opportunity cost. Staying in the wrong job, the wrong degree, or the wrong business idea doesn't just waste time. It steals energy, focus, and future potential. Here's a story that proves it. Sophie was studying law at a top university. Everyone around her told her it was the safe path, the smart path. But deep down, she felt no passion for it. Midway through her second year, she made the terrifying decision to quit. She used her remaining tuition refund to start a small digital marketing agency focused on local businesses. Within 2 years, she had 5 employees and crossed $250,000 in revenue. Quitting law didn't ruin her, it freed her. But quitting isn't about escape, it's about alignment. The goal isn't to run from hard things, it's to stop climbing the wrong mountain. Here's a simple test. Ask yourself, if I could start over today, would I choose this again? If the answer is no, and it's been no for a while, it might be time to let go. Another powerful question: what's this commitment costing me? Not just in time or money, but in clarity, creativity, energy, and emotional bandwidth. Strategic quitting isn't just for careers. It applies to relationships, routines, and even business strategies. It's about clearing space for the right opportunities to enter. There's no glory in grinding away at a path that leads nowhere. Smart entrepreneurs pivot all the time. Investors cut losses, creators scrap bad projects, and winners reallocate time to what moves them forward. Strategic quitting requires courage. It means facing the fear of judgment. It means stepping into uncertainty. But often the moment you let go of what no longer fits, better doors start to open. Quitting doesn't mean giving up. It means growing up. Because once you stop wasting time in the wrong places, you can start investing in the right ones. Every entrepreneur knows the importance of investing in high-performing tools. But what most people forget is that your most valuable asset isn't software, stocks, or strategy. It's you. Your body is the machine behind your mind. If it breaks down, your ideas stall, your energy drops, and your financial momentum disappears. Think of your body like a sports car. It needs the right fuel, the right maintenance, and regular time to cool off. Push it too hard for too long, and even the best engine starts to fail. Here's a real-world lesson. During a busy season, an e-commerce business owner decided to handle order fulfillment alone when his staff was short. He worked 15-hour days, 7 days a week, for 3 months. On paper, the numbers looked great. In reality, he was miserable. He developed migraines, chronic fatigue, and anxiety. The profits came at a personal cost. Eventually, he scaled back, built a home gym, and carved out daily time for physical activity. Not only did his health recover, his focus and creativity skyrocketed. The business performed even better because he did. Health isn't a luxury, it's a productivity multiplier. Sleep is a perfect example. A study of over 4,000 workers found that those who slept fewer than 7 hours a night had significantly worse performance. Less sleep means less clarity, slower reaction times, and poor decision-making, all of which cost money. Exercise is another lever. Even 20 to 30 minutes of movement per day can sharpen thinking and improve emotional regulation. Walking meetings, short strength workouts, or even outdoor stretching can create a ripple effect across your entire life. Nutrition also matters. You wouldn't pour cheap fuel into a Ferrari and expect it to race. The same goes for your brain and body. Whole foods, hydration, and consistent meal timing play a massive role in your financial output. Even fun and recovery matter. Recreation resets the mind. Activities like hiking, swimming, or golf aren't just hobbies, they're strategic resets. They help you return to work with better ideas and higher energy. And here's the long-term view. If you build wealth but destroy your health, you'll spend your later years using money to fix problems that better habits could have prevented. So invest in rest, prioritize movement, eat like you respect your future, and sleep like your net worth depends on it, because in a very real way, it does. Most people are taught to spend less, but wealthy people learn something more powerful. Spend strategically to multiply what you have. This is the principle of return on investment, or ROI. And once you understand it, every dollar becomes a decision, not just an expense. ROI is often discussed in the context of business. For example, if you buy a product for $50 and sell it for $75, you've made a $25 profit. That's a 50% return. But ROI doesn't stop at products. It applies to your time, your skills, and even your relationships. Let's look at a personal example. A young woman named Layla was stuck in a job paying $35,000 a year. She spent $1,200 on an online certification in data analysis. Within 6 months, she landed a job paying $65,000 a year. That one decision gave her a return of $30,000 annually. Was it an expense? Technically, yes, but it was also an investment that paid for itself in weeks. Smart spending means asking 2 key questions. Will this purchase generate more money, time, or freedom in the future? What's the opportunity cost of not making this purchase? The second question is where most people get stuck. If you spend hours every week doing tasks that could be automated or outsourced for cheap, you're losing time you could use to earn more elsewhere. Here's how the wealthy think. They spend on tools that scale, knowledge that compounds, and people who multiply their results. They buy systems, not status. For example, a small business owner might hire a part-time assistant for $15 an hour. If that assistant frees up 10 hours a week, the business owner can spend those hours closing deals worth thousands. That's ROI. Even attending industry events, something that seems costly up front, can lead to connections, partnerships, and customers down the line. Not every return is instant. Some are delayed, but massive. Another overlooked ROI is mental clarity. Spending a few $100s on organizing software or outsourcing bookkeeping can save dozens of mental tabs and stress later. And here's one more layer. Spending to sharpen your skills. Courses, books, coaches. These aren't costs, they're force multipliers. The average person looks at price, the wealthy look at value. Over time, those who understand ROI create a gap that can't be closed by frugality alone. They don't save their way to wealth. They spend their way there, intelligently, deliberately, and with discipline. Being kind doesn't mean being weak, but in the world of business and wealth building, being too agreeable can quietly destroy your potential. There's a difference between being a nice person and being a pushover. Wealthy individuals often embody what psychologists call a disagreeable giver. That means they are generous, helpful, and focused on creating value. But they're not afraid to challenge ideas, say no, or walk away from situations that don't serve them. This trait is critical because building wealth requires making hard decisions. You'll have to fire people, turn down bad deals, protect your time, and draw boundaries with those who drain your energy. If you can't say no, someone else will run your life for you. Let's look at an example. Jason built a tech startup from scratch with his best friend. In the early days, things were smooth. But as the company grew, his friend couldn't keep up with the pace. Projects were falling behind. Clients were unhappy. Jason had a choice: keep the friendship and watch the business crumble, or make the tough call. He chose the business. The friendship didn't survive, but the company did. Today, it employs over 50 people and generates millions in revenue. Jason still supports his old friend personally, but he no longer risks his mission to avoid conflict. Being a disagreeable giver means you serve others, but you also protect the mission. This mindset extends to the people you surround yourself with. There's a saying, show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your future. If those 5 are motivated, focused, and upward bound, so are you. If they're distracted, negative, and unambitious, they'll pull you down with them. Audit your circle. Are your conversations focused on goals, ideas, and solutions, or are they stuck in gossip, complaints, and distraction? Start seeking out people who challenge you to grow. People who talk about building, investing, and improving, not just coasting through life. Wealthy people don't fear tension. They understand that pressure creates diamonds. They lead with empathy, but they're not afraid to disagree when it matters. You can be kind, you can be generous, but never confuse that with being easy to manipulate. Bonus section: 3 money habits that almost broke everything. For every habit that builds wealth, there's a hidden one that can quietly tear it down. These aren't the dramatic mistakes you see in headlines. They're subtle, sneaky patterns that start small and grow into major setbacks. Here are 3 habits that nearly cost it all. Habit 1. Trying to do everything alone. In the early days, it feels noble to be self-reliant, but at scale, that mindset becomes a liability. Doing everything yourself creates a bottleneck. Your time gets eaten by low-value tasks. Your energy goes to maintenance instead of growth. One business owner learned this the hard way. She was handling sales, support, packaging, marketing, and taxes alone. The business looked busy, but growth stalled. Burnout followed. Only after hiring part-time help did things start moving again. Delegation isn't a luxury, it's leverage. If you try to build an empire solo, you'll collapse before you finish the first wall. Habit 2. Over-investing too early. It's tempting to throw all your money into investments when you first start building wealth. Stocks, crypto, real estate. It feels exciting to watch your money move, but liquidity matters. One investor put over 90% of his savings into long-term assets. Then an emergency hit. No cash on hand. He had to sell investments at a loss just to stay afloat. Wealth isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you can access. Always keep a buffer. A strong offense needs a strong defense. Habit 3. Ignoring taxes and hidden costs. Making money is one thing, keeping it is another. Many first-time entrepreneurs and investors forget the silent partner in every deal: taxes. A crypto trader made over $40,000 in a single bull run. But he didn't track his trades, didn't plan his exit, and didn't set anything aside. Months later, a tax bill arrived, and he was completely unprepared. He had to sell assets in a downturn just to pay what he owed. The solution is simple: expect taxes. Plan for them. Learn the basics of capital gains, deductions, and how your income is taxed, or hire someone who knows. Wealth without strategy leads to volatility. These 3 habits, doing it all alone, over-investing without liquidity, and ignoring taxes, are slow leaks in an otherwise strong ship. Catch them early, and you avoid disaster. Let them continue, and even a strong income can't save you. Building wealth isn't about luck or background. It's about behavior. Habits shape your future more than any single decision ever will. You've seen how the wealthy think differently about debt. They use it to build, not consume. You've seen how obsession creates momentum, how passive income buys freedom, and how quitting can be a strategy, not a sign of failure. You've learned the importance of treating your body like an asset, spending to multiply, and standing firm instead of being agreeable for the sake of approval. And you've uncovered the hidden dangers that almost ruined it all, doing everything alone, locking up all your money, and ignoring the costs that aren't obvious. So what now? Here's your action plan. Step 1. Pick one habit from this list and apply it today. Just one. Whether that's calculating your real ROI before a big expense or deciding it's time to stop doing tasks that someone else could handle better, start now. Step 2. Create a weekly check-in. Just 15 minutes to reflect. What worked? What didn't? What can you adjust? Step 3. Every 90 days, audit your habits. Review your spending, your health, your circle of influence, and your income streams. Adjust the system, not just the outcome. Remember, wealth is built by small actions repeated over time. You don't need perfect timing or flawless execution. You need discipline, clarity, and the courage to think differently. You don't have to wait until next year or next month or even next week. The best time to start building better habits is always the same. Right now.